The 4th of July parade in Ash Hollow was our town's heartbeat. Flags snapped in the breeze. Kids in red, white, and blue darted through the crowd, and brass bands filled the air along Main Street's colonial brickwork. It was Americana at its finest, a tradition that bound us. But last year, I saw him, a man in faded colonial blue, his coat tattered, face smeared with soot and blood. His eyes were hollow, like smoke after a firework fades. I thought he was a reenactor, part of the show. Then I learned no actors were hired that year. And that same soldier has marched in Ash Hollow's parade every year since 1777. I'd just moved back to Ash Hollow at 27, burned out from city life and nursing a breakup that left me raw. The town hadn't changed. Cobbled streets, the old church steeple piercing the sky, history whispering in every corner. The 4th of July parade was alive, bands thumped, sparklers glowed in kids' hands. Veterans saluted from vintage Jeeps. Then I saw him. Not in the official lineup, just walking, silent. In colonial blue, his coat was unpolished, his face blank, eyes unblinking. Nobody else seemed to notice him, just me. Everyone in Ash Hollow calls it the March of the Blue Soldier. They say it's been part of our 4th of July for over 2 centuries. Since before the nation had 50 states, it's our pride, our quirk. I asked my mom about it over coffee. She gave a tired smile. Your dad used to play that part. Back in '94, but I don't remember him in any costume. And my dad, he went missing that same year, rummaging through an old cedar chest in the attic for fireworks cables. I found a photo instead. My dad, standing on Main Street, wearing that same colonial uniform. The crowd behind him was frozen mid-cheer, their faces blurred. On the back, in faded ink, someone had scrawled, "Last March, July 4th, 1994, when I showed my mom, her face drained of color. Don't talk about that day," she said, voice sharp. "I told you, your father served his part." The festival stretched into its 2nd day. Confetti drifted like ashes in the town square. I was weaving through the crowd when I felt hot, stale breath behind my ear. "Your time has come. Blue must march." I spun around. Nothing. Just bunting, rustling, and a kid chasing cotton candy. But across the square, I caught the tail of a blue coat vanishing behind a brick column. Desperate for answers, I went to Ash Hollow's library, to the dusty genealogy room. I pulled parade rosters from the 1800s to now. Every year, the Blue Soldier was listed. No name, no face. Some years read, "Volunteer secured." Others, just no record. The words chilled me, like someone was watching over my shoulder as I read. I cross-checked the rosters with missing persons reports. It was subtle, never headline news. But every decade or so, someone vanished around the 4th. A shopkeeper in 1922, a teenager in 1957, my father in 1994, all born in Ash Hollow. All last seen at the parade. The pattern was there, hidden in plain sight. Like a secret the town refused to speak. On July 2nd, a box appeared on my porch. No return address. No stamps. Just an old lockbox with my name carved in cursive. Inside was a colonial uniform blue wool, silver buttons dulled by time. boots that somehow fit perfectly. A note in looping calligraphy read, "Blue must march. You are chosen." My hands shook as I held it, the fabric heavy with something I couldn't name. That night, I dreamed of muskets and mud. It was 1776. A soldier, hands bound, screamed in a dialect I couldn't place. Townsfolk were burying him alive behind a barn. As the dirt hit his chest, he looked at me, eyes burning. "It's your blood now. Finish the march." I woke up gasping, the taste of earth in my mouth. I confronted Mr. Hargrove, a retired judge who taught history at the high school. He laughed at first, brushing me off. Then he sighed, his eyes heavy. "We don't stop the march," he said. "We honor it. If there's no blue soldier, the one we buried, he'll come for any of us. The march keeps him contained. It's tradition. It's sacrifice, and you're next in line." The town buzzed with patriotic joy. Flags everywhere. But I felt watched. In mirrors, in storefront glass. I saw glimpses of my own face in that uniform. I called the sheriff, desperate. He answered, recognized my voice, and said, "Brandon, some things you just have to accept. You were born here. It's yours now." Then he hung up. The air felt heavier after that, like the town itself was closing in. I tried to burn the uniform. It wouldn't catch. I tried to leave town. My car wouldn't start. I walked to the forest's edge, but something pushed me back, like an invisible wall. That night, I gave in. I put on the uniform, just to see. When I woke, it was morning. My hands ached, as if I'd been gripping a rifle. My eyes in the mirror were pale gray, like ash. I checked my security camera all night. I'd been whispering, "March, march, march." July 4th, noon. The sun blazed. The parade started, but I wasn't watching. I was at the front, marching, stiff, hollow. People cheered. Kids waved, oblivious to my unsmiling face. My feet didn't feel the street. My body moved on its own. Deep inside, something else was walking me, pulling my strings like a puppet. At the end of Main Street, by the old war monument, I saw it, a stone archway shimmering in the heat, covered in colonial script. No one else noticed it. In its mouth stood the man from my dream, half his face gone, his hand beckoning. "March into me and be free, or deny me, and your town will burn." His voice was gravel and smoke, promising both release and ruin. I stopped marching. My hands raised the musket, heavy and cold. I turned not toward the arch, but toward the monument. I fired. The stone cracked. Screams erupted, and the monument shattered, spilling dust and bones like history breaking open. The air went still. The blue soldier screamed, not in anger, but in relief. Then he vanished, like smoke carried off by the wind. I'm still here. The town canceled the parade the next year, blaming budget cuts. They never found the musket, the arch, or the bones. But every July 3rd, when I look in the mirror, I swear I see the uniform hanging behind me. Sometimes, in my sleep, I still whisper, "Blue must march, and one day it will."
Story 2.
I'm Jesse Kane, 27, and the gravel under my tires crunches like old bones as I pull into Ravens Hollow, Indiana. It's been 10 years since I left this nowhere town, chasing a freelance photography gig in Chicago. The air smells of cornfields and regret. It's July 3rd, and tomorrow's the big Independence Day parade, same as every year. My Nikon hangs around my neck, ready to capture the small-town Americana I've been hired to shoot for some travel mags. Main Street's decked out in red, white, and blue, but the diner waitress, Mrs. Hargrove, gives me a look like I've already overstayed my welcome. "Don't linger near the road at midnight," she mutters. Pouring my coffee, I laugh it off small-town superstitions. Probably just kids pulling pranks. It's 11:58 p.m., and I'm in my childhood bedroom at the edge of town, scrolling through old photos on my laptop. Then it hits brass horns, snare drums, a march tune slicing through the quiet. I check my watch. Midnight. Sharp. The parade's not till tomorrow morning. So what the hell's this? I grab my camera and step onto the porch. The street's dark, but there's a glow moving down Main Street. A parade. Floats. Banners. A high school band setup, but it's all wrong. The instruments play themselves. The flags wave without hands. I raise my camera, heart pounding, and snap a shot. The shutter clicks, but the sound feels swallowed by the night. Back inside, I upload the photos to my laptop. My hands shake as the images load. The floats are there, glossy, draped in stars and stripes, but no people, no band, no flag bearers. Just empty air where faces should be. I zoom in, expecting a glitch, but the details are crisp. A trombone hovering mid-air, a drumstick striking nothing. My stomach twists. I tell myself it's a long exposure trick, bad lighting, anything. But I know what I saw. That parade wasn't for the living. Morning comes, and the diner's buzzing with parade prep. I ask Mrs. Hargrove about last night. Her face goes pale, and she busies herself wiping the counter. "You didn't see nothing," she says. Too quick. I head to the library, a crumbling building that smells of mildew and secrets. The librarian, Mr. Tate, watches me like I'm trespassing as I dig through old newspapers. Then I find it. July 4th, 1947. A parade float caught fire, faulty wiring. They said, 37 dead, mostly kids from the marching band. The town buried the story. No memorials, no nothing, like it never happened. I run into Tommy Wheeler at the gas station. We were tight in high school, sneaking beers by the creek. He's a mechanic now, still got that lopsided grin. I tell him about the midnight parade, half expecting him to laugh. Instead, he goes quiet. "You didn't take pictures, did you?" he asks. Voice low. I shrug, playing it cool, and invite him to come with me tonight. He hesitates, then nods. "Just don't tell anyone," he says. I promise. But the way he looks at me like I've already doomed us sticks with me. Midnight again. Tommy meets me at the edge of Main Street. The air's thick, like it's holding its breath. The music starts. Same as last night horns. Drums. A ghostly march. The floats glide by. Silent, but for the creak of wheels. Tommy's sweating. Eyes darting. I snap photos, the flash cutting through the dark. Tommy grabs my arm. "We shouldn't be here," he whispers. but I keep shooting. The parade passes, and when I turn to Tommy, he's gone. Just gone. My flashlight catches nothing but empty pavement. I call Tommy's phone. Straight to voicemail. I bang on his apartment door at 2 a.m. No answer. By morning, I'm at the diner, asking if anyone's seen him. Mrs. Hargrove avoids my eyes. The sheriff, a guy named Polk, says Tommy probably skipped town. Happens sometimes, he mumbles, but his hands shake, lighting his cigarette. I check my camera. The photos from last night show the parade empty, like before, but Tommy's not in a single frame. Not even the ones I know he was standing in. Back at the library, I dig deeper. Microfiche records show gaps, people vanishing after July 3rd. Year after year. A farmer in 52, a teacher in 79, a kid in 03. No bodies, no trace, just gone. The townsfolk never talk about it, but the pattern's clear. I find a journal from a pastor, dated 1948. Tucked in a locked box, Mr. Tate forgot to mention. It talks about the parade as a reckoning, a ritual to appease the dead from 47. Every year, it takes someone new. My skin crawls as I read the last line. The parade chooses its own. I confront Mrs. Hargrove at the diner, shoving the journal in her face. She doesn't deny it. You shouldn't have looked, she says, her voice barely a whisper. Once you see it, you're marked. I ask about Tommy. She shakes her head, tears in her eyes. He's with them now. I want to scream, to shake her, but the fear in her face stops me. She slips me a note before I leave. Burn your photos. Run. I crumple it in my fist. But I'm not running. Not yet. July 3rd. Midnight again. I'm alone this time. Camera in hand. Standing at the edge of Main Street. The music starts. Louder now. Like it's calling me. The floats come. Same as before. But there's a new one. A fire truck. Blackened. Like it rolled out of 1947's ashes. My camera feels heavy. Like it's pulling me closer. I snap a photo. And the flash lights up faces in the shadows, burned. Hollow-eyed. Staring right at me. I stumble back. Heart hammering. They're not in the next frame. I don't sleep. At dawn, I piece it together. The parade isn't just a ghost show, it's a trap. The dead from 47 need a full roster, a complete band, to rest. Every year, they take one living soul to fill the ranks. Tommy's gone because he stood too close, looked too long. And I'm next. The photos aren't just evidence, they're a contract. Every click ties me tighter to them. I try to delete the files, but my laptop freezes. The images flickering back on their own. July 4th. Morning. The official parade is all smiles and flags, but it feels like a lie. I skip it, holed up in my room, staring at my camera. I try to smash it, but my hands freeze, the camera slipping from my grip like it's alive. At noon, a knock at the door. It's Sheriff Polk, but his eyes are wrong too still, like glass. You're expected tonight, he says, and leaves. I check my photos again. In the last one, I'm standing on the fire truck float, my face burned and hollow, holding a flag I don't remember touching. My fingers tremble, but the camera hums, its lens glinting like it knows something I don't. Midnight, July 4th. The music's deafening. shaking my bones. I don't want to go, but my feet move, dragging me to Main Street like a puppet on strings. My camera clicks on its own, the shutter snapping in time with the drums. The floats circle me, the band plays louder, and the faces God. The faces are everywhere. Tommy's there, his grin gone, his eyes empty. The fire truck float stops in front of me. A burned hand reaches out, offering me a place. I try to scream, but my voice is gone. My legs move without my command, betraying me. The camera clicks on, capturing each step, chaining me to the parade. I'm on the float now. I don't know how I got here. The parade moves, and I'm part of it, holding a flag that burns my hands but won't let go. The town's gone silent. The house is dark. My camera's still around my neck, snapping on its own. I look at the screen, and it's just me alone on the float. The band, the flags, all gone. But I feel them around me, pressing in. Their whispers like static. You're home, they say. It's dawn. July 5th. I'm back in my room. Somehow, my camera's on the table, the memory card full. I upload the last photo, hands shaking. It's me, standing in the parade. But I'm not alone. The burned faces are there now, clear as day. And I'm one of them, my eyes hollow, my skin charred. I try to delete it, but the file won't budge. Outside, Raven's Hollow is quiet, like it's waiting. The road out of town feels too long, too dark. My camera hums softly, like it's still watching. Next year, someone else will photograph the empty road, and maybe they'll see me, marching past.
Story 3.
The air's thick with Mississippi heat, humidity sticking to my skin like a second shirt. I'm back in Bethel, the little town I swore I'd never return to, but Grandma's stroke last month changed that. New York's a lifetime away now. It's July 4th, and the community's buzzing behind Mount Zion Baptist Church. Picnic tables are draped in red, white, and blue. Kids running wild. Old folks fanning themselves with paper plates. The smell of charcoal and ribs hits me hard, man. I'm starving, but something's off. Nobody's eating. They're grilling, laughing, piling food high, but not one person takes a bite. Grandma's sitting in her folding chair, her silver hair glowing under the sun. She grabs my wrist as I head toward the food. "Marcus," she says, voice low, "don't you go near that spread when the sun starts dropping. You eat when you're invited. You hear, not before." I laugh it off. She's always been superstitious, but her eyes don't blink. They're sharp, like she's seen something I haven't. I nod, but my stomach's growling. I haven't eaten since the bus ride from Memphis. The cookout's in full swing now. Pastor James is cracking jokes. Miss Lottie's pouring sweet tea. And the grill's popping with burgers, ribs, hot links. The smell's unreal sweet, smoky, almost too good. I'm drawn to a table piled with skewers, the meat glistening, practically calling my name. I glance around, no one's watching. Everyone's just standing there, smiling at the food like it's a damn museum exhibit. My hand hovers over a skewer. Why the hell is nobody eating? I grab a skewer, the meat warm and heavy in my hand. As I bring it to my mouth, a chill crawls up my spine. A voice soft, like it's coming from the air itself, whispers, "Thank you for your sacrifice, child." I freeze. The skewer drops back onto the plate. I look around, but everyone's acting normal, laughing, chatting. Miss Lottie's fanning herself, staring right at me. Did she hear it too? My heart's pounding. I step back from the table, the smell still pulling at me like a hook. I need air. I slip into the church's back room, where they keep old records and photos. There's a stack of Polaroids from past cookouts, all labeled July 4th. I flip through them, same tables, same decorations, same smiles. But in every photo, there's one person sitting at the main table, eating, while everyone else stands around. Their face is blurry, like the camera couldn't focus. Every year, a different blurry face. My stomach twists. Last year's photo has a man I don't recognize. His features smudged, fork halfway to his mouth. The sun's dipping lower, painting the sky orange. The crowd's still lively, but I catch whispers now, eyes darting my way. Pastor James claps my shoulder. Too hard. "You enjoying yourself? Marcus, been a while since you've been home." His smile doesn't reach his eyes. I overhear Miss Lottie talking to another elder, her voice low. "It's for Bethel. We got no choice." Her face isn't cruel, it's tired, heavy with guilt. They're not monsters. I realize they're trapped, just like me, in something bigger than us all. But that doesn't make it easier to breathe. I'm back at the food table, drawn like a moth to a flame. The skewers are still there, the meat almost glowing under the fading light. I lean closer, and the smell hits me again, rich, sweet, wrong. It's not pork, it's not beef, it's something else. Something I can't place but makes my mouth water and my gut churn at the same time. I see a bone on one of the skewers, small and curved. Too small for a cow, too human. My hands shake as I back away. I pull Grandma aside, my voice low. "What's going on with this food?" Her eyes are heavy, not with anger, but with resignation. "It's tradition. Marcus," she says, "every year, we give thanks to keep Bethel safe. The stranger, they feed the town." Her voice cracks. "We don't want this, but we can't stop. The land demands it." I laugh, thinking she's joking, but her face is stone. The meat, it's from the last one who ate. My knees go weak. I think of the blurry faces in the photos, the voice I heard. They're not evil, they're desperate, bound to this curse. The sun's almost gone now, just a sliver above the horizon. Pastor James calls everyone to the main table. Time to eat. He shouts, and the crowd cheers, but they're all looking at me. Miss Lottie steps forward, holding a plate with a single skewer. "Marcus, you're our guest of honor," she says, her smile too wide. The crowd parts, forming a circle around me. My mouth's dry, but the smell of the meat is pulling me in, clouding my head. I'm standing at the table, the skewer in my hand again. The crowd's quiet now, watching. The meat smells like heaven, like everything I've ever wanted. My stomach's screaming, my head's foggy. "Just one bite," Miss Lottie says, her voice soft, almost kind. I lift the skewer. The voice whispers again, louder this time. Join us. My hand shakes. I want to drop it, but I can't. It's like my body's not mine anymore. I bite into the meat. It's tender, juicy, exploding with flavor better than anything I've ever tasted. The crowd erupts in cheers, clapping, shouting. But as I swallow, my skin tingles. The sun's gone now, and the air feels heavier. I look down at my hands, they're trembling, and a faint wisp of smoke curls off my fingertips. What the hell? I whisper. Pastor James laughs. You're part of us now, Marcus. My body's betraying me. My skin burns. Not like fire, but like it's unraveling, turning to ash from the inside. I smell it now, the meat, the smoke, me. My fingers blur at the edges, dissolving into curls of gray vapor. My thoughts scatter, like my soul's being sucked into the air, mixing with the scent of the grill. I try to scream, but my voice is smoke. My breath is char. I'm not just dying, I'm becoming the feast. The crowd watches, silent. Their faces a mix of guilt and relief. Grandma's sobbing, but she doesn't move. I don't know how long I'm out. When I wake, I'm lying in the grass behind the church. The cookout's over. The table's cleared. My body feels heavy, like I'm made of ash. Grandma's gone. Pastor James is gone. The town's quiet, like nothing happened. I try to stand, but my legs give out. My hands, God, my hands are gray, like charcoal. I'm not me anymore. It's July 4th again. I don't know how I know, but I feel it. I'm not at the cookout. Not really. I'm in it. I can smell myself on the grill. My essence mixed with the smoke. The crowd's back, laughing, setting up tables. There's a new guy, young, maybe from out of town. He's standing by the food, curious, hungry. They're watching him, just like they watched me. He reaches for a skewer. The Polaroid develops slowly. The new guy's in the center, smiling, a skewer in his hand. His face is clear for now, but I know it won't stay that way. Behind him, the crowd's grinning, their eyes sharp. Inside the church, on a small altar by the back door, there's a framed photo, my photo, my face blurred, like all the others. They pass it every Sunday, heads bowed, pretending it's just tradition. I'm there too, somewhere in the smoke, in the flavor of the meat. Bethel's safe for another year. And me, I'm just the seasoning now, while they live with the lie.